Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Elaine. I'm seated here under a beautiful maple tree in the Arboretum in Canada, my home country. Thank you for joining me today. Today's class is going to be about doing some exercises to mobilize the shoulders and upper back area, which can really affect our posture. And so if we want to maintain that good posture alignment, then these are some exercises you can try. So we're going to start seated with our legs crossed. I just want you to start with your neck. So we're just going to drop the head over towards the shoulder and just feel that nice long line of release from your ear to your shoulder. Take your breath in, come back up, and then release down. So there's so many muscles connecting our head to our shoulders. So it's important to release them before we head into the joint itself. So just let the weight of your head do all the work here. And then bring yourself back up. Good. From here, we're just going to lift the chin and gaze up, and then drop the chin and go down. Breath in and breath out. Now we're going to add a little bit of spinal movement with this. So what I want you to do is pull on your knees as you drop your chin, and then pull them back as you look up. So beginning to waken up by doing these gentle seated cat-cow movements. There's a lovely breeze here. Getting lots of nice fresh air. And the sound of the wind in the trees is amazing. Good. Okay, so that's warmed up the upper back a little bit. Now we're going to take our hands in front. So starting a little bit with the hands and our ankle, elbow, and wrist joints. Just start to move your hands up and down. Just wake them up a little bit. And then we'll make some nice little fists and turn our hands around one way and then the other way. And then little finger bursts just to wake them up a bit. And then turn your palms open. Bring your hands to your shoulders, elbows parallel to the ground, and then extend. And bend and extend. You can always do these exercises seated on a chair if the ground is not comfortable for you. Keep your hands where they are. Just pull your elbows back behind you. Good. And then bring them forward. Take them back and forward. Nice breath in. You can gaze up if that feels nice, and then round. So always thinking about the upper back, which can be very stiff for a lot of us. It's probably the stiffest part of the spine, the lower back being the most mobile. Last one. Good. And then taking your hands out to the sides, we're going to take our hands behind us, and we're going to bring our feet to the floor and bring our hands either facing towards our bottom or turn to the edge of the mat, whichever is more comfortable for you. And then start to lift your chest up, feel that sternum rise, and then round your back. And lift and lower. Another way to start to stretch and mobilize, bring some movement into that upper back. Last one. Good. So turning to the front, crossing the other leg in front of you now. And then taking your arms into this cactus position. So I'd just like you to focus on pressing the elbows back, just little pulses. And then I always like to close my eyes and then notice, where am I feeling this? And it's definitely in my lats, the muscles around my back ribs. My shoulder blades are being drawn towards each other. And this is really good for posture again, making those muscles work to help draw our shoulders back behind us. Good. Just do two more. Okay, and then just take a little rest. And again, if you feel any tension in your neck, just a couple of little circles around will help to release anything that might have arrived there. Good. Okay, One more exercise. Open your arms nice and wide as far as you can, and then give yourself a big hug. Open the arms wide and hug. So good. I don't know about you, but with this COVID-19, I'm not getting as many hugs as I normally do. So this feels nice. Okay, arms wide and relax them down. So we're going to go back to our other exercise with our hands behind us and our feet on the floor. And again, fingers turned in or towards your buttocks. And this time you have an option to lift the buttocks off the floor. If that doesn't feel good, stay with the first one we did. So being here is great. Or pushing into the ground and lifting the hips up. So this is a more intense stretch for the shoulders, and it might not feel right. So always listen to your body. Do what feels good. We want to feel a deep sense of stretching something that maybe we don't often stretch, but never any sharp pain. I'll just do 2 more. I love looking up at the tree. And release. Wonderful. Okay. Final exercise, seated. We're going to take our arms out to the side and imagine you've got a door handle and you're just rotating it. This again, helping to bring those shoulders into beautiful position. So we have a lovely posture. And you can try turning one way and one the other way. See how that works for you. Internally and externally, rotating our shoulders. Our shoulders are very unstable joint. Doesn't have a lot of muscle protecting it, unlike our hips. And then relax. Good. Okay, final one in this position is going to be having our arms back in cactus position. And then we're going to bring our elbows together and take them apart. Exhaling maybe. Inhaling. Good. Trying to keep the elbows level with the shoulders as much as possible. And not worried about where the arms come to, but just trying, just seeing what's possible today. Remember, it's better to do a class like this for 10 minutes a day than it is to do an hour-long class once or twice a week. The body needs repetition, daily exercises to begin to open up and release and respond. Okay, let's come on to our hands and knees now. We're going to do a little cat-cow movement. So spread your fingers wide under your shoulders. Start to lift your tailbone up and gaze in front of you. And then round your back and gaze down. As the hips move, take a breath in and gaze forward. And then exhale and start to round the back. And we're going to take this into a more flowing movement. So I'd like you this time to go back into a child's pose. Come up onto your hands and knees and then drop your hips down. Exhale as you draw back towards your heels. And inhale as you come up to stretch. So wonderful stretch for the whole spine. Rounding it and then extending the spine. Moving with your breath like a wave from the top to the bottom. Good. Just one more time. And then coming back onto your hands and knees. And we're going to come onto our forearms now. And we're going to do that same cat and cow movement. So start by breathing in and allow the hips to lift and gaze forward. And then as you exhale, start to round the back and gaze between your feet. This will not be as easy to move because we've kind of isolated the upper back a little bit. So just notice what is easy and what is more challenging in this position. And just keep that nice steady flow of breath. Okay, now we're going to move our right hand towards our left elbow and extend our left arm straight. And just rest your forehead on your forearm. This is called half heart melting pose, Anahatanasana. Now for some of you, you may be able to bring your chin toward the floor or your forehead. Just notice where your head wants to be comfortable. And just kind of imagine that you're drawing your fingers forward towards the front of your mat, but your hips are trying to go back, and that little tug of war is allowing a beautiful stretch into your shoulders and your upper back maybe. Breathing into the space in your back body and then softening, letting your heart melt down towards the ground as you breathe out. And then we're going to change sides. So bring your left hand to your right elbow and stretch forward with your other hand. And just noticing if this side is any different. And then slowly bringing yourself all the way back up. And we're going to slowly come down to the floor. So just bend your elbows, come to lie on your tummy, and rest your head on your hands. Just give your hips a little shake from side to side. And we'll just do a couple more exercises here lying down. So we're going to bring our hands into a cactus position. So elbows in line with shoulders, hands at the edges outside the mat, and forehead on the ground. Take a breath in to prepare, and then exhale completely. Inhale, start to push your hands into the floor and lift your chest off the ground, and then exhale back down. Push into your elbows and feel like you're lengthening your underbody as you do this, and then release. Push down and rise and lower. Now some of you may wish to have your hands like little tripods and lift up a little bit more. Just see what feels okay for your back. Feet are hip distance apart and they're relaxed. And we're slowly moving with our breath. Inhaling as we rise and exhaling as we lower. That's it, lovely. And just do one more. And down. Rest your hands on your head on your hands and just shake your hips a little bit. Okay, we're going to do one more exercise, and that's going to be taking our hands back by our side and bringing our forehead to the ground. Now I want you to take a breath out, and as you breathe in, start to lift your upper body away from the ground. Reach your hands towards your heels, and then exhale, lie down. Inhale, stretch towards your feet, and release. Lift using just your upper back muscles, bringing some strength to them. Inhale, rise. Last one, stay up. Keep looking toward the mat so that the back of your neck remains long. You might want to interlace your fingers and reach your fingers further away towards your buttocks, or you might want to keep them by your side. Just see what feels okay for today. Take another couple of breaths. Remember, anytime you want, you can come back down. And then slowly release. Turn your head to the side and rest. Okay. All right. So start to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Push yourself back up. And we're just going to come onto our knees and sit on our heels. We'll do one final exercise, which is a preparation for camel pose. So come up onto your knees. I like to tuck my toes underneath when I do this. And I want you to take your thumbs right on your bra line. So you're hugging your ribs with your fingers and your thumbs are right at the back. Get a good grip and then try to lift your chest up. So your sternum, that big bone between your boobs, lifts up into the air, and just gaze forward somewhere. Just feel that upper back being stretched. Good. Once you've got that nice lift, you can slide your hands down onto your lower back, to your buttocks, and then you can start to lean back a little bit. Just see how that feels. So try to keep the hips over the knees. Keep breathing steadily and just feel the elbows drawing back. Some of you may wish to hold a heel and maybe lift an arm into the air. If that doesn't feel good, keep your hands on your back. Remember, you don't want any pain in your back. Good. And then release your hands back to your hips. Sit down and rest for a moment. And then we'll just do the other side. Come back up. Tuck the toes if that is helpful. Take your thumbs, really focus on bringing that openness and spaciousness into your upper back. Gazing forward or up, wherever your neck feels comfortable. If you don't like doing that, don't do it. I don't like to do that either. And then when you've got that lift, hold your buttocks. You know, I've just noticed my left butt cheek is much firmer than my right. It's bigger, in fact. So now I'm going to reach, lean back a little bit, feeling that lovely stretch perhaps in the front of the legs. I'm going to feel for that heel, and I'm going to lift my arm up and gaze up at these beautiful trees and this lovely breeze that's coming through. This is definitely a happy place for me, being in the trees. And then slowly come back up and come to sit. So just take a little movement, see how your back is now. Hopefully it's a little looser, more mobile, and we've done some strength exercises as well today. So if you liked it, please subscribe if you'd like to enjoy more videos with me. Any comments, I would love to receive them. I am here to help. Reach out to me on my social media channels too, which are linked below. And thank you so much for taking the time to take care of yourself and to join me for this short sequence on upper back mobility and strength.